when ignorant folks want to advertise their ignorance, you don't really have to do anything. You just let them talk, and that's what happened here.
That's just one of the reactions to racist remarks attributed to Donald Sterling. A recording said to be Sterling talking to his girlfriend was posted online, and it's caused a firestorm within the NBA as well as the general public, really. Well, for further reaction, let's turn to Butch Carter. He's a former NBA player and the former coach of the Toronto Raptors. Butch, thanks for being here. What was your reaction when you heard these comments being attributed to Donald Sterling?
Well, I think the first thing I thought about was that he should be allowed due process. I think that's really important. I think it's something that in my professional career, I wasn't allowed due process on things that were said about me. It was a private moment. I believe in California, it's illegal to record someone without their consent, but it's out there. I think that what I really like is that the generation that was born, that Martin Luther King fought for, Doc Rivers, Magic Johnson, you've got those people that are well prepared to manage this situation. Magic has always been a hero of mine. I wouldn't like anyone saying disparaging remarks about him, not alone in those contexts. And I would hope that if it's found that he admitted that he said it, that the standard will be set by the commissioner that is above what he has set for the players, because he is an owner. That's an elite group to be one of the 30 owners in the National Basketball Association. And I would hope that it would be swift and fair punishment.
And just for our viewers who might not have heard the recording, apparently he's allegedly referring to a picture that his girlfriend had posted of her with Magic Johnson, saying don't post those pictures. Butch, let me ask you, you're a former NBA player, you coached the Raptors. Do you think that Sterling's comments are a reflection of the NBA culture, or is it just an isolated incident?
It is a reflection of Sterling's generation. Everyone forgets that in the United States, African Americans weren't mandated the right to vote in every state until 1964. So if you were born under Sterling's generation, you might have been raised in a racist or segregated environment. It's quite common. So the problem is Sterling has had a track record of these kind of incidents, not only from the discrimination in his housing, but he's fired coaches and tried not to pay them the guaranteed money that he owed them. So he is being very consistent to his personality, I believe. And fortunately this time, someone had the strength to try to record him. And again, I say, you know, they should follow due process and see if he admits to it. But I think that he's got good lawyers. And but I would hope that after what Marge Schott did and her comments, and me living close to Cincinnati and understanding that the commissioner will be what he's supposed to be, and that is a commissioner for the owners and the players.
Let me ask you, Butch, during your time in the NBA, did you personally encounter racism?
I don't think I've ever encountered racism because I'm really not one to pay much attention to it. Did I feel that when I left the Toronto Raptors that the way they delivered a message pertaining to me, how I acted professionally, was it racist? Absolutely, I think that was. It was quite clear that the message that they leaked out after we'd had our exit interview, after they said they had terminated me, that the message was, well, we have a black coach that's trying to take a white general manager's job. That was the message. So when you have 29 teams in the States, that seems to be a very, very detrimental message for future employment.
Can I just ask you personally, when you heard these comments being attributed to Sterling, how did it make you feel?
It didn't make me feel bad because, again, for someone who's played in the league and coached in the league, this is pretty much consistent with who he has been. So
just not surprised.
It's not surprising. The issue before always was, as a generation, we hadn't grown enough and matured to not just understand. You have to understand Mandela. You have to understand Martin. You have to understand the nonviolent way of dealing with this situation. So I think that, like I said, Magic Johnson, who was a former teammate for 1 year, Doc Rivers, who I know very well, and seen him a couple months ago, I think they're well equipped because of what the message that is left as a nonviolent reaction to handle it. I think Doc's team will play well today, and they'll have a bigger audience to send their message.
That's interesting. So their game starts in about 15 minutes from now. What do you think the impact will be on the players' mindset?
Well, I feel bad for Golden State because I don't think Golden State's going to get a call. I mean, it's unfortunate, but no one wants the Clippers to play poorly today. I think the Clippers need to be heroes for all brown people in California. That's very important. Large Spanish following, large African-American following. So I felt sorry for Mark Jackson and his team, what they're walking into, and hopefully the Clippers will play well. But I really think that Doc is well prepared to manage his team and manage this situation.
All right, we're running out of time, but I can't let you go before talking about the Raptors a little bit. They're going into Game 4. How do you think the team is looking?
The team is going through, you're young, your first time in the playoffs, and, you know, they're not losing by 20 points or 30 points. You know, the games they've lost are close games. So they're doing quite well. Coach Casey has handled the situation. He's got to make his adjustments. And hopefully they win this evening and uplift the city. And I would hope that all Canadians that watch CBC would support the Raptors as their basketball team.
Butch, I want to thank you so much for your time and coming in to speak with us.
No problem. Thank you very much for having me.
Butch Carter is a former NBA player and a former coach of the Toronto Raptors.